Did you know that before the Israelites conquered Jerusalem, the city was home to a mysterious and fascinating civilization? Long before King David transformed Jerusalem into the capital of Israel, it was ruled by the Jebusites, a little-remembered people who left a lasting mark on the city and the region. These ancient inhabitants, who thrived in the hills where Jerusalem now stands, are mentioned in biblical texts, historical records, and archaeological evidence as one of the oldest and most strategic civilizations in Canaan. At the time, Jerusalem was known as Jebus, more than just a city. It was a fortress protected by deep valleys and renowned for its advanced constructions, which impressed even its enemies. Ancient documents, such as the Amarna letters, written by Canaanite rulers to the Egyptian pharaoh in the 14th century BCE, reveal that Jebus was an important city both politically and economically. These records show that the Jebusites were part of a network of city-states that maintained trade and military relations with regional powers such as Egypt. Due to its strategic location, Jebus served as a control point for trade routes and travel connecting different parts of the Middle East. The Bible also highlights the Jebusites as formidable enemies of the Israelites. During the campaigns led by Joshua, the Jebusites fiercely resisted and retained control of Jerusalem even after the conquest of Canaan. Only under King David, centuries later, were the Israelites able to take the city, and it became central to Israel's history. But what happened to the Jebusites after their defeat? Who were these people who shaped the city before it became the spiritual heart of the world? The Bible mentions the Jebusites as one of the 7 peoples who inhabited Canaan, alongside groups such as the Hittites, Amorites, and Hivites. They were considered descendants of Ham, Noah's son, and Jerusalem is described as having multicultural roots influenced by various peoples. This diversity reflects the geopolitical composition of the region itself, which served as a meeting point for cultures and civilizations. The Jebusites were not only known for their military resistance but also for their rich culture and skills in architecture and organization. Archaeological discoveries reveal that they built robust fortifications and developed highly effective water supply systems, such as the tunnel connected to the Gihon Spring. These advancements demonstrate that the Jebusites had a deep understanding of engineering and survival, adapting their constructions to the mountainous terrain and the challenges of their time. The name Jebus likely derives from a word meaning trample or crush, possibly referring to the rugged terrain and nearly impregnable defenses of the city. Located in a mountainous region surrounded by the Kidron and Hinnom valleys, Jerusalem had natural advantages that made it a formidable fortress. These valleys not only hindered attacks but also served as natural barriers protecting the city from invaders. Furthermore, the Gihon Spring provided a constant water supply, ensuring the population's survival even during long sieges. This strategic location made Jerusalem a vital point for controlling trade and military routes. It is no surprise that both the Jebusites and the Israelites valued the city so highly. For the Jebusites, Jebus was more than just a city. It was a symbol of resistance and independence. For David, it was the key to uniting the tribes of Israel and establishing a capital that transcended tribal divisions. The Jebusites had strong connections with the Amorites, mentioned in the Bible as the leader of Jerusalem during the Israelite conquest, bore a name of Amorite origin, highlighting the interaction between these cultures. This cultural and linguistic interconnection reflects the region's complexity, where different peoples shared influences and alliances. However, the Jebusites stood out for their ability to adapt to the challenging environment and their skill in building impressive defenses. They were experts at utilizing local resources, using the mountainous terrain to their advantage, and developing architectural techniques that were advanced for their time. Their fortifications and water systems are evidence of their ingenuity. David's conquest of Jerusalem is one of the most emblematic moments in biblical history. According to the account in the 2nd book of Samuel, David and his soldiers used a subterranean tunnel connected to the Gihon Spring to carry out a surprise attack on the Jebusites. This strategy was bold and innovative, especially since the Jebusites believed their natural defenses and fortifications were impregnable. Some scholars suggest that David also used hooks or ropes to scale the walls, showing that the operation may have involved multiple tactics. David's victory was not only military but also symbolic. By conquering Jerusalem, he not only defeated a formidable enemy but also established a new era for Israel. He transformed Jerusalem into the capital of the United Kingdom, a city that symbolized the unity among the Israelite tribes and the spiritual center of the people. After the conquest of Jerusalem is one of the most emblematic moments in biblical history. According to the account in the 2nd book of Samuel, David and his soldiers used a subterranean tunnel connected to the Gihon Spring to carry out a surprise attack on the Jebusites. This strategy was bold and innovative, especially since the Jebusites believed their natural defenses and fortifications were impregnable. Some scholars suggest that David also used hooks or ropes to scale the walls, showing that the operation may have involved multiple tactics. David's victory was not only military but also symbolic. By conquering Jerusalem, he not only defeated a formidable enemy but also established a new era for Israel. He transformed Jerusalem into the capital of the United Kingdom, a city that symbolized the unity among the Israelite tribes and the spiritual center of the people. After the conquest of Jerusalem, the Jebusites did not disappear immediately. Many were assimilated into the Israelite population, contributing to the society in formation. During Solomon's reign, for instance, remaining Jebusites worked on the great constructions, such as the Temple of Jerusalem. Although they ceased to exist as a distinct ethnic group, their impact can still be seen in the city's foundations and early history. The Jebusite heritage is a reminder of how Jerusalem was shaped by a rich tapestry of cultures and peoples. Their architectural innovations and resistance inspired future generations, and their story is an important chapter in Jerusalem's journey to becoming one of the most emblematic cities in the world. The story of the Jebusites is more than a tale of the past. It is a lesson in resilience, adaptation, and the complexity of human interactions. In an increasingly connected world, understanding how ancient cultures coexisted, collaborated, and clashed can help us appreciate the importance of dialogue and cooperation. Now we want to hear from you. Did you already know the story of the Jebusites and their role in Jerusalem? Share your thoughts in the comments and spread this fascinating knowledge to others.